Welcome to part 2 of messing around with this external GPU build. If you haven't seen part 1, it was actually trying to get this little Dell laptop. It has a small little i3 in it. The specs will probably be right here, right there, I don't know. But very, very slow. We were severely bottlenecked by the CPU and was not an enjoyable time. So I picked up this guy at the local tech recycling place. It is a HP Elite Desk 800 G4 35 watt. So it uses 35 watts of power, I'm guessing max draw, but has a 6-core, 6-thread, which is much better than this. I think it was a 2-core, 4-thread. I don't know. Bad CPU in that for gaming. Much better, but I don't know. We'll have to see. So just like the previous video, we're actually going to be using the M.2 slot to actually get some PCIe lanes, 4 of them to be exact. And thankfully, this little guy, and real easy to open, actually has, it has a Wi-Fi card, and then it has a slot for an M.2 card. Both have PCIe lanes, but we're actually going to be using the M.2, so we actually keep Wi-Fi, but it's actually right underneath this SSD. So I'll meet you over at the workbench, and we will start taking it apart. All right, so here we are. We're on the workbench right now. Excuse the mess. Yeah, it is pretty greasy. This is a working garage, so I don't only just work on clean computers. But if you have one of these little HP G4s at home and are wondering how to open it, it's just this little thumb screw back here. And then you just push forward on the top, lifts up. So you push forward and then lift up. There you go. Really easy to open up. Put this over there. So here we go. We got our CPU cooler. We got our CPU fan. To change out the memory, if you are wanting to do that, you just lift up and back on this fan. There's some little channels and some magnets. You want to be careful of the wire for the fan. But there you go, easy access to the RAM. And then just to slide back in, there's these 2 channels for these little standouts. Slide in, boom. And that's all it is for the fan. To actually remove the SSD or the hard drive bracket, we will need a screw, and it is a Torx bit, but it actually looks like you can use a flathead if you don't have Torx. All right, I got my precision screwdriver. It is a 15, size 15 Torx. I think that's the correct word for the star pattern. But just these 2 back screws right here. Take those out. And then it's going to be close to the same as the fan. You actually push back, and it's in a sort of channel. There it is. Be careful of the actual SATA connector. It's not SATA, but SATA connector. I'll actually need some tweezers. There it is. It's off. And we have the hard drive out. Well, there's the goal right there. We have our M.2 connector, and we're wanting to do the same thing with the Oculink. Now, I could use a connector like this one, and it would work if I didn't have the hard drive cage right over the top of this. So I actually ordered a special, I don't even know what you would call it, maybe a breakout or something, but it has the M.2, and it actually has wires, so you could place it pretty much wherever you want within the range of this connector. And then right there is our Oculink. Now the cool thing about these little HPs is that they actually have a little modular PCB board where you can install, I think the options from HP are HDMI DisplayPort, which I have, or some more USB 3.0s. And it's just these 2 little screws, and it just comes out. But obviously I can't I don't have the manufacturing capability of making my own whole board for an Oculink. So that's why I was thinking about using this adapter that I bought and actually 3D printing a bracket to actually hold the Oculink port on this side so that I could just plug in and plug out the Oculink from the eGPU. So once you have those two screws removed, all you need to do is just kind of push it out. It does feel like it's going to require some extra force. Oh, there it is. So all I did was this, I went on this corner right here, lifted up like that, and there we go, we got it removed. Looks like there is a plastic film over it too, so you don't risk the risk shorting anything out. So I'm gonna go hop over to my 3D printer and print out a little bracket of sorts, kind of imitating this guy, to hold the Oculink breakout board. So that was a little bit of a lie. I 3D printed this a while ago. So no, I didn't actually go to my 3D printer right then. But here we go, we have it. And what I'm wanting to do is just have it like this and have this right on the back of the computer so that we're able to plug in and unplug Oculink when we want. All right, so I brought the camera down just because I wanted it to be more focused on the actual computer. As you can see, it looks like our M.2 slot's actually kind of damaged. That's a little interesting. Hopefully it doesn't affect performance. I don't think so, because I did look in there and none of the pins seem to be actually broken or anything. So we got that in. Now I tried my best to get these two holes. You can see how big this one is. That one's just kind of existing. I think this one is close. I'm not expecting the perfect fitment for, yeah, it looks like it's going to be off a bit, quite a bit actually. It's going to be angled, but good enough for the performance that I'm going to get probably. The computer put back together, but now with the Oculink port on the outside, you can see it right there. Yeah, it's not flush. No, I do not care. It's going to work anyway, even if it is a little ugly. But thankfully it's on the back of the computer, so we don't have to look at it too much. So there we go, we're in now. And now it's put fully back together. So let's plug it into the eGPU and see how our performance is. Now, I know that I probably rushed through the Oculink install on the HP and then didn't really show much of an overview of the eGPU that I have. Now, there's a reason for that, because this setup is pretty boring. Yeah, it barely takes up any space, pretty small, but as you can see, there's two different objects. Like, it's not all contained into one. Now, thank you for this comment, Shocking Pikachu, for this comment right here. But just like what he said, we're about to do some sketchy shit to this eGPU now. Now, the sketchy vision I have for this PC, for this eGPU, sorry, pardon me, is actually fitting the PC into the eGPU case to make it all in one, having the front I/O still accessible as well. So mostly for the power button too, to make it all easy, and to have it powered off the power supply that's actually inside of there as well. I have a few ideas. I have an idea how I'm going to do that. We're going to see if that'll work or not, and if I finish up this part of filming today or not. So here we are, workbench cam. My idea is using the VESA mounts right back here, actually mounting it on the inside.
And as you can see, there's not going to be enough room to, well, I guess you can't see too well, but there's actually the power supply right there. And I think that there won't be enough room to actually plug in the charge cable and then also the Oculink. I totally even spaced that out. But there won't be enough room to actually plug in the Oculink as well, because just how close the power supply is. And it's also looking like it's going to be a tight fit. I put it right next up to it so you can kind of see. It looks like it's going to be quite a tight fit inside of there. All right, we have the side panel off. We can kind of look and see how much space we have in there. So yeah, that's definitely not enough room, and they're going to put way too much strain on the Oculink connector. So I am going to go and remove this power supply as well while we do all this to kind of figure out what we're doing. Then my other plan too for the front, to have the front I/O still accessible, is actually 3D printing a whole new front panel so that we could still press the power button as well. All right, well, bad news kind of. The adapter plate, it's actually, you actually can't put screws in on that side. So that side is just going to have no screws, because you can't, I guess I could cut the metal. But I think it's funnier when it could do that. That's pretty funny, in my opinion. So I'm gonna plug in the graphics card now, and that is so much less space, or so much more room. Sorry, misspoke. That is a lot more space for gamer stuff. Look at that. Look at all the room for gamer bits, gamer chunks. Holy fuck. I think that may work. Oh my god, yeah, that's like pretty good placement actually. I'm actually impressed with myself. Yeah, like I don't know if it could get any perfecter. That's a word. So here we are, we're on my garage floor now. And what I'm gonna do, or what I'm planning, I have this sheet metal, this aluminum sheet metal that's left over from a camper build I did. And this will be perfect, really thin too. But this will be perfect for just that panel that I want to make on the eGPU. So I'm just gonna trace it around just my cut line. All right, are the cut lines perfect? Fuck no, not at all, not even close. I was having a hell of a time with my snips for some reason, but excuses. That's all that is. I need to get better. But right now, I'm actually just going to focus on drilling the holes so we could actually mount it. Alright, so I kind of cleaned up the bottom of it. Still not perfect, and actually I need to file it a little bit more. It still has some rough edges, but all the holes line up, so that's the silver lining. I'm gonna kind of fit test in the HP. I'm not completely sure on how I'm going to actually get the VESA mounts, get it transferred over. Yeah, but let's see how it fits. There's seriously like no room on the sides. Like it fits perfectly, as if it was like almost made for this box, which obviously it wasn't. Okay, I'm gonna take it apart and start drawing it up on the aluminum so we can cut it or drill it and then mount it. All right, well, I believe that I transferred over all of the measurements to the best of my ability. So I just need to drill the full 4 holes, and that's that. Voila. It is now attached via VESA mount. And, ooh, that's a, oh no, never mind. That'll come off with the protective coating. But, yeah, it's done. Washers on it, slightly bigger washer because elongated hole, yes. But now, that's pretty much it for. And as you can see, it fits in perfectly. Yeah, so it's getting a little late now. So tomorrow I'm going to drill the hole for the fan, probably design something, and then I'm also going to probably 3D print a little bracket to cover up the front. But for today, that is going to be it. All right, and we're back. It's day 2 now. And today, I actually printed off the front cover for where the computer's going to sit. So the front will be covered. I couldn't think of anything really too funny to say. Excuse the dogs in the background. My neighbors just leave their dogs out 24/7. Looks like they're angry about it today. But I did have it open so that some more airflow gets in. I don't know how well, I guess the whole side of it's actually has these. So it shouldn't matter too much about actual airflow. I didn't think too much of that actually. But talking about airflow, I also printed off this little 80mm fan shroud for the power supply. That's actually what I'm getting ready to drill the hole in the aluminum sheet right here. So then we'll be done with this. I have a plan for how I'm going to mount it. I'll show you that when we get there. But now I'm going to actually get ready to drill the hole. Got these little wood standoff, but actually I need to hit and mark the center. So let's see how well I did with measuring. Looks like pretty good, actually. Damn. Yeah, so I'm going to be putting the fan shroud on the outside, just so you're less likely to slice your finger on this aluminum. Which actually, it's kind of deep burnt. No, it's not really. Would I recommend sticking stuff in your power supply? No. Would I recommend taking the screw fans out for your power supply? Definitely not. Am I doing it anyway? Yes. Why? I don't know. I don't really know why. I got a high off of seeing 2,000 views on the last video, and here we are. Yeah, I thought so. These screws are a little too short to reach in there. I think there should be enough clearance between all the internal components on the power supply and these longer screws. Another bad thing I'm doing on camera that you should not do. Please don't do this. Don't change out the screws on your power supply. Bad things could happen. If only I had 3 hands. Come on. Oh, fuck yeah, I'm getting it. Regardless, I don't really want to take this side off again. So I'm going to try and work on everything through the other side. Because, man, I am tired. Oh, I still have to take off the the little plastic coating on the aluminum. That's probably why it probably looks awful, but there is a plastic film over it just to kind of protect the aluminum from scratches. I'm gonna leave that on for as long as possible. Oh, this one, I think I need the leg again. But my next problem is, how am I gonna power the computer if I just want one power cord coming in? Because that's what I want. I just want one power cord coming in. Well, there's 12 volts out of this guy right here. I'm pretty sure it's this guy. Actually, I guarantee it is. But I think this is the guy I want. I don't want the PCIe. I believe this is for your CPU. I think this is your CPU power cable. I'm gonna grab a multimeter and confirm that it's 12 volt, and I'll show you the rest of my idea. So top should be positive, bottom. What? Oh, okay, there it is, 12 volts. So that is where I'm gonna be getting 12 volts from. Now, obviously, the computer doesn't take DC in. Well, it takes DC, but the input obviously isn't going to be 12 volts. If it's 12 volts, it's going to be a very not powerful computer if it takes 12 volts in. Usually it takes, like, most computers probably take about 19 volts for like this size of computer, 19 and a half volts. Now I did get, I'm trying to look for it actually. All right, I'm back. Of course, I for some reason put this box in my gamer den. If you can read really close, it says car charger for Dell. It's HP, but I guess it's good for Dell. I'm pretty sure it was advertised as HP, but it's the same connector. Hopefully. Which is like a 7mm if I'm thinking right. But so it's a car charger. Cars obviously are 12 volt. So 12 volt DC too, which is exactly what's coming out of this guy. Now I just need to get this guy to this. Now what I'm probably just gonna do, it's just gonna fucking cut it. It really. This doesn't matter at all. This doesn't matter at all. This is what actually takes the 12 volt in and actually converts it to 19 and a half volts. So this is what matters. I'm just gonna throw this in there, probably like double side tape it, just to get it a little bit more secure for when I'm traveling. It doesn't just throw it all over the place. But yeah, so as you can see, right here is the power jack for the little HP Elite desk, and I should probably turn this off. We're on the gamer side, and my plan is I need 12 volts. This guy has 12 volts. Now, if I did read this little schematic, the top should be positive, and the bottom should be ground. Now, I could buy an adapter. I'm sure there has to be one where it's well, whatever connector this is, I don't even know. This is like close to Molex or something, but I don't know. PC power supply pins to like a 12 volt socket. I don't know. Seems kind of really niche. But what I'm thinking is kind of going the chaos route and, you know, just kind of, I hate to say it, but just cut the wires. Is that bad? Probably. Like, this is unredeemable after if this doesn't work, yeah, this is pretty fucked. When you got a hard decision like this, you just that felt very wrong to do. Look at that abomination. Now let's make sure that I actually was correct on them all being positive. And go. Hey! Okay. Good work. It's pretty good, I think. Doesn't slide. Nope. All right, now let's do the same on these guys. This seriously feels so wrong of me to do this. Funny, but wrong. Well, here we go. Now, if I did this right, I really hope so. I should just plug in like so. Well, I have it plugged in. Before I plug it into the computer and possibly fuck up my HP gamer gaming computer, I am going to hook up the multimeter to this, make sure that I wired everything correctly. That would be my luck. I turn it on and it shorts out my laptop because I fucked up and didn't do something. So, all right, first off, make sure no smoke. Okay, I don't have it plugged in. Looks to be only like one pin. Oh wait, there it is. Okay, there we go. And it's negative because probably because I have the ground. There we go. That is 19.5 volts. Woohoo! Yeah, so there is 3 pins. There's a pin in the very center. I'm not sure if that's for a handshake. I don't think so because it's already sending out 19 volts. I don't know. We're gonna plug her in and find out. Okay, so here we are. We're gonna attempt to cable manage this. Honestly, I kind of just want to stuff it in and call it good. Really tempted to. May have to, actually, now that I'm really looking at it. I would be all right with that. I hope you guys will be, because you guys have no physical being in this situation. No physical presence, that's what I meant to say. So you can't really cable manage for me. So you're going to have to be content with that, actually. That doesn't look too bad. You know, I was doing some thinking. We should actually make sure, before I put on the side panel, that everything does work and that the computer does turn on. So, I'm going to face it towards you. All right, about to turn it on. All right. So now the computer should have power for us to turn it on. And I press power. Uh-oh. I'm getting nothing. There is a green light on, oh, you actually can't see, but there is a green light on the charger, laptop charger. I'm gonna plug in a HDMI to the screen. Yeah, the multimeter was giving out 19.5 volts. It should have enough power, and it plugged in. Not sure why this is going on, but I'm going to poke around with the multimeter. This is power supply internal. I have 19.5 volts. 19.5, like right on the money. This is the power adapter that came with the HP. Almost pretty much 20 volts. And it's pulsing too. Maybe that's just me. User error. There it is. 20 volts. So I'm going to be doing some research, figure out if it takes only a special one or if I just got unlucky. It's the next day, but I have a plan. So I did some research yesterday and I found out that HP does kind of have like a proprietary bullshit connector where you just can't use any, 19.5 volt that fits in the plug, right? No. So what happens, or what the reason why it's not turning on is because on the power supply that is in the case, it isn't sending any voltage down this third pin, or down this third connection that is the center pin in this plug. So what that is doing is on this one it's sending 16 volts. Now the 16 volts is saying that it's a 90 watt power supply. That's what I have, is a 90 watt power supply. There's different voltages for the I'm trying to think here, but different voltages for different power supply ratings. So if it's a higher voltage, from my understanding, it's a higher wattage power supply. So since there's no voltage coming out of the power supply that's in the case, it won't turn on. It won't turn on no matter what. Maybe there's a workaround without doing any mods, but I had yet to find one. Why did you throw some resistors on the table? Well, that's our workaround. So it's pretty sketchy. What we're going to be doing, I need to disassemble the computer, but right here is our power plug. See the middle connection right there? Where that is the middle pin. That's the middle pin that we need to get. And I need to hook up a multimeter, but I'm fairly certain that this side of that little gold pad is 19 volts. So I'm going to be messing around with the power supply, or with the multimeter, confirm, and then we are actually going to be soldering this 220K resistor from the middle pin to the 19 volts to have a voltage drop, which I think puts us in the ballpark, I think, of like 16 volts, maybe, hopefully. We're going to see. I'm pretty scared, but let's start taking it apart. Now, you actually may be wondering like where I got this information from. I found this one website. I'll link in the description. It actually speaks about a workaround, so you don't have to have a HP smart pin power supply. It actually says the center pin is the quote-unquote smart pin, but where it actually talks about non-HP power supply, it's just a matter of adding a high-value resistor, 220 to 330K, from the center pin to the 19 volts. And it actually says that allegedly, both of them are actually 19 volts. And then just that center pin is the smart pin, where we need to actually solder the 220 resistor. And it does kind of break down a list of what resistor you need for the power supply you're running. I'm just trying to get it turned on, so I'm doing 220, which is the lowest one that it says we can use. Well, I guess it says we could even use 100K. So we actually, I think we're doing good by shooting right in the middle. Okay, got one side. I was holding my breath that whole time. Now I just need it. Damn, forgot how hot that would be. Now I just need to get the other side. There we go. I think that's it. Let it cool down a bit, and then I'll test everything with the multimeter. Make sure nothing's grounding out. All right, so we're at the moment of truth now. I have the power supply on. You can see the GPU fan spinning, but I do not have the power cord to the actual thin client plugged in. I do want to see what the actual voltage is too. See if I got it close. Hopefully I did. I'm kind of scared. I need something to press the power cord, or power button, not cord. I think this will do. Yep. Okay. So here we go. Kind of scared. Not going to lie. And there we go. Let's see what the voltage is. Showing 3 volts. What the hell? But it turns on. Look at that. Holy cow. Wait. Yes. Yes. Oh, hell yeah. Let me get this out of there. Now, let me turn on the screen. Let's see if it actually boots. Please. Please. I think it is, though. You can't really see actually the front too well. I think it is booting. Hopefully. Come on. Windows wallpaper. Look at that. So, looks like our jankiness worked out. Don't mind the screen, the flickering. It's not doing that in real life. That is just the camera. We are pretty good. So we are back in business. I'm going to kind of put everything back together, and then I'll be back for the next part, which I'm trying to think what it is. Don't know. Probably the front panel, actually. That's probably what it is. All right, I'm back. You could hear just some kids playing outside. Just ignore that. Sorry, I swear they're not screaming and in danger of their lives. They're just having the time of their lives. At least that's what it sounds like. Well, there we go. As far as I'm concerned, it's done. So, I didn't think we would actually get this far on this project, especially when it wasn't turning on. I think we should start downloading some games on it. The first game I tested was Helldivers 2, again with far better results than the previous video. This match was actually a level 10, so it had quite a bit of enemies on screen, and he was actually able to handle it and play the full match and then even extract with not many stutters. And the stutters that I did experience, I could chalk up to shaders rendering still. So I think the more that I would play it, it would actually end up being better. The next game I tested was actually Space Marine 2, and to see the difference between the unplayable mess that was from the first video using the laptop compared to this computer, it is a night and day difference and really enjoyable. I attempted to play Call of Duty Warzone, and I'm not sure if just the slideshow, and yes, this is real-time footage that you're seeing. I think you only see 3 frames. I'm not sure if it was because shaders were still rendering or what, but I could only stomach one match of this, and actually just continued with the rest of the benchmarks. GTA 5 ran perfectly with no jarring stutters at all, quick load times, but for a decade-old game, I would really hope that it would run perfect, and really should run perfect on anything newer. A drawback with this setup is actually the fan noise, and any game running on this little HP computer, that little CPU fan in there is just blasting 100% maxed out the whole time while any game is running.
So it does sound like a little jet engine next to you, but I think I think for what it is, I think that's perfectly fine. During the testing, I was going to do a little bit of a bit with seeing how VR would run. Now, I happen to have a HP Reverb G2, which is a Windows mixed reality headset. So I plugged it in, downloaded Steam VR, and attempted to play a VR game, only to find out that Windows Mixed Reality is actually discontinued in the 24H2 Windows update. So my headset and everyone else's Windows Mixed Reality headset is basically a brick now if you update to 24H2. So either you update your device and have the benefit of security updates, or you just have a unsecure device over time and be able to use your headset. So that's just another reason just to hate Microsoft, and thank you. Thank you, Microsoft.
Wrong one. So what did we learn from building the HP Mini PC Gaming Edition? Well, we learned one thing for sure, and that's to never buy into a product that Microsoft has a large influence over. But was this worth it? Well, for funness, I would say yes, it is worth it. Now, practicality, probably not. It's probably not worth it. So this project costed around $250 to make this whole thing. Now I do have a lot of tools that also would make it a lot more expensive if someone doesn't have those tools, but it costs around like $250 to make this. Now, for $250, you could get a much better computer than this. And actually, for like, here I'll kind of show you on screen, but I'm guessing around $20 to $50, you could find a even though it's not small, a full size like Dell Optiplex or HP equivalent, regardless equivalent, and actually throw in a full size graphics card, and you'll have a much better gaming experience. This is mostly just for having fun on YouTube. So if you're wanting to get into gaming cheap, this is not the route. This is nowhere close to the route. Like getting an older full-size office PC would be a much better route. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. This was a lot of fun. I thought it was screwed at times, but it eventually turned out working, except for the VR. Thank you, Microsoft. Thank you. But make sure to like this video if you liked it. Feel free to dislike it if you disliked it. It's all right. Please subscribe for more. I would really enjoy that. I plan to keep on doing more sketchy stuff. This may be done for now until I think of something sketchier to do with it. But subscribe for more sketchy computer content. You guys have a nice day. I'll see you later.